Necesita ayuda.
What?
Need a hand?
Yeah, I think I do.
Sounds like you're not getting any fuel.
Yeah?
Probably the shutoff solenoid. Let's see if we can get some power to it.
What brings you to Cuba?
Same thing that brings everyone else to Cuba. Culture, people, beauty. What brings you to Cuba?
Hello and welcome to When Will It End? Oh, fucking no, don't, fuck. Hello and welcome to... Jesus Christ, don't cut that out. People should know.
That... What? What?
That I fucked up.
Yeah. They think you're like a Dom, I think.
Yeah, I do often... When I look in the mirror, I do often think of one Dominic Toretto. I am sort of the leader of a scrappy team of misfits, and look, we've all, who knows? I probably have a kid out there. I definitely have, jilted ex-partners who understand that I had to pick my duty over, basic emotional responsibilities. But I barely sweat. I'm very muscular, so you know. I have a strong sense of duty.
I mean, I was just commenting on your hair, which is, I feel like if Dom had hair, it would look just like yours.
That's because you're a fucking absolute dork, and you think that you're like one of these deviant art kids who thinks that everyone should have like anime hair, and my hair is like spiky right now because it's bouncy, it's nice.
Yeah,
but no, Dom. Part of Dom is he looks like a fucking river stone with eyes.
Yeah, God, he's cried in this movie, and I think they were real tears, but they looked like tiny little, like perfect spheres that dropped out of his eyes at the exact same time.
One of the many abilities Vin Diesel has is platonically ideal tears as part of his his large toolbox of so this is When Will It End? It's the movie podcast. We watch the movies, we tell you, is they good? Is they bad? Did they get better? Did they get worse? It's honestly, it's hard work. Someone's got to do it.
I'm sorry to turn this into a Hobbs and Shaw sort of situation, but I do got to interrupt and say, you left out the part where we start at 1.
We started. You're right. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Hey, everyone! If you joined us if your first episode of the show is the 8th Fast and the Furious movie, 1, the cojones on you, my person. Doesn't matter how you identify, the cojones on you. You said Fate of the Furious. That's the one. I'm gonna dip in now.
Yeah, and they even saw that we were doing the whole one. They're like, I could tune in for 5 or 7.
No.
Nah.
Fate of the Furious. We watch the movies. We start with the first movie. In this case, of course, Fast and Furious. I can't even remember how to distinguish 1 and 4 at this point. That information has left me.
Don't you worry. We will be doing the final. Up until next year, but this is going to be the final look at the titling of the Fast and the Furious series.
Because of coronavirus. Because the COVID gone and done took us away. Fast 9. And look,
that's real sad.
I'll be the first to say a lot of bad things have happened because of this incredibly infectious, lethal disease. But the fact that we put so much effort into a timetable for this movie podcast and so many franchise films have been thrown off kilter, it's hard not to feel like we are, in a way, bearing the brunt of this catastrophe.
Yeah, I know that you're all thankful that we're here. Podcasters are now doing the Lord's work, much in the same way that Dom is basically now doing the Lord's work. I feel like we started off this episode right. Josh, we've mentioned that you are like a Dom in a lot of ways, and I might try to I think I'm like a Dom, but I'm not sure. I think maybe I'm more like a Stave. Nah, fuck.
You're definitely more of a Brian, which makes this even more heartbreaking.
It is true. Wait, what? Whoa. Wait, what? What does that mean?
Like, I think you're very sweet. You're very well-intentioned. You want to show up and play ball. I don't think some aspects of this are like Brian has to, kind of get in character to get in the zone. Look, I roll out of bed and it's rock and roll city. I'm the mayor of rock and roll city the second I wake up in the morning.
I can believe it.
Yeah,
Ellie calls me every morning. He's like, oh.
Right. I imagine you.
He's doing that thing again.
It's rock and roll city's back. Look, when my beautiful girlfriend Allison started dating me, she knew that she was taking a one-way ticket to Rock and Roll City.
No, you don't do round trips?
No, nope. One way, baby. Because me and my girlfriend are physically distancing during this because she's with her parents back in Albany and I'm out and about for work, which sucks. I have just been watching hours of The Grateful Dead on YouTube with friends. Like, countless hours. So in a way, I am the sad mayor of sad Rock and Roll City.
That's okay. I think that every Rock and Roll City, there are many out there, and I think all of them deserve to have a sad mayor.
Yeah. People think it's fun to be mayor of Rock and Roll City.
No, it's a lot of work.
Yeah, you got to friggin' open up beer bottles with anything but a bottle opener.
Yeah.
You got to wear leather pants.
When was the last rock and roll song written? Like 30 years ago?
Bro, the last real rock and roll song? Let me tell you something. When I was a kid, and I'm talking about, of course, the mid-90s, rock and roll still had the bloom in its cheek, okay? And now, with the rap music, One Directions, just girls doing music in general, it's just ruined it. It's ruined the whole thing.
Yeah, Fifth Harmony.
Yeah, back when shit was real, and I'm talking Screaming Trees, Soundgarden, Pearl's Jam, the good stuff. Now it's like... kids don't even know what a freaking guitar is anymore.
No.
Okay?
And that's bad. Every kid should know what a guitar is.
They gotta know what the guitar does. You plug it in, you play the...
So I can, the mayor. You got so much cut out for you.
Yeah, Rock and Roll City mayor over here.
How'd you get elected?
But brother, man, we gotta go behind the paywall for that one, because let me tell you...
Fuck.
I sucked a lot of dicks to become mayor of Rock and Roll City.
But it's worth it.
It really is. The sadness, the isolation.
I was wandering around Boston and like, can I suck your dick to become the mayor? And they're like,
please,
no.
sir. Might I suck your dick?
Where'd you find the dicks? I couldn't find the right people.
Look, Comanche warrior Charles, you got to just go ahead and scour. You got to scour the earth for those dicks. One by one, you conquer them all, and the prize at the end is you become mayor of Rock and Roll City, which, again, like Dom and Fate of the Furious, is a very lonely experience, where you're frequently, in this position of a demigod figure, forced to choose between global security and your bastard son. The kid's a bastard. Let's just cut right to it. That kid's a bastard.
He's a fucking bastard. In like the same way that a god would like turn into a swan and fuck some woman back in the Greek times. Like Dom, one of the first texts I sent you when we watched this movie Separated was, is Dom a god? And like the entire movie, this went from regular car movie to superhero movie to like fucking Greek Odyssey level mythology shit.
And here's, I want to just get into this right now. The whole premise of the podcast is, do franchises, can they go from strength to strength, or do they inevitably buckle under the weight of their own bullshit? Somehow this movie cranks things up to another level, which I did not think possible. And I saw this in the theaters without much of the context that I have now. And watching it now, it is like, oh, they did it. This is the level that he's actually, like, Dom is the most infamous outlaw in the world. There's a target on his back by the most insane people ever. In this case, the absolutely fantastic Charlize Theron, in a plot that I'm sure we've definitely engaged with very much. She's got a whole plan. It's great. I don't know, subs, or there's a nuke. But like, yeah, this is like, of course, 8 movies in, Dom has become like the arbiter of justice in the cosmos. Like that's the only way this could go.
Wow. I'm glad you're putting it like this. I'm glad we're talking. I feel like this is maybe the worst of the series so far. And
really, I think it's top three for me.
Yeah. So I can tell that you're really into this. For a lot of reasons, I'm feeling like this has become something else. Like I mentioned Serial to you when we were texting, like this is like as though they are now relying so much on the feedback noise from the fans, from culture, from bloggers, from what have you, that now they're making movies that are so like influenced by other things that I'm no longer watching a fast movie. And that's only one of the few things that I'm like sort of losing my interest in what they're presenting to me. But it's not all bad. There's a lot of great stuff. So I want to hear, like, you're so into this. I would love to hear what's getting you off, Mr. Mayor.
Well, first off, Charles, first and foremost, we finally got there. We got to my favorite moment in movies. It's so good. And longtime listeners, if you've been listening to me butcher this dialogue for the last like X number of weeks, I don't care. It doesn't matter. The point is not me getting the quote right. The point is that, by the way, on the Wikipedia, which is of course the greatest collection of human knowledge that the world has, it's a virtual Library of Alexandria, but not run by Egyptians. So it's probably going to last longer. And the moment I speak of course, is when Charlize Theron, who plays Cypher, a character with great depth, who has a plan that obviously, again, we could talk about the specifics of it all day. I remember very vividly what her plan was, but
well, actually, that's what I came on the show and I wanted to be like, Josh, can we just talk about the plot of this movie? Like what Cypher's plans are? And you're like, oh God, that we could go on for 24 hours. We could have a 24-hour podcast on our hands.
Oh God, I know what the fans want is for us to accurately remember what exactly was going on in the movie, which again, at this point in the movies is like not at all the point. Like we're watching this for the aesthetic, like glimmers and the moments of like pure fastness and furiousness at this point. Like again, just to get this out of the way, because I truly do not want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Charlize Theron kidnaps Elena and apparently their bastard child, and it's all to make Dom steal a nuke for her or something. I don't remember why. For just to be, because she's the crocodile at the Oasis. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that shit was
so ruled.
I think we're gonna talk about her later.
Okay.
I think.
Well, before we get too far away, in the Wikipedia article, they say that she seduces him in this exchange, which is so crazy and sexist and wrong.
Wait,
they literally talk like they have like
what?
On the Wikipedia article, in Fate of the Furious, what they describe in this moment,
for the plot synopsis,
which I found very confusing because as they say, no shit, maybe I made this up. Where did I see this? I got so mad at this because of the word seduce. I was like, no, that doesn't happen. Seduce? Am I crazy? I saw this somewhere.
You think somebody?
No,
I bet someone edited it. I bet someone edited the
in
article.
Between me looking at it and I look like a fucking idiot. Please edit this out. Please. This is so bad. I'm such a fucking piece of shit. I'm not the mayor of anything. I'm a fucking joke. Fuck. Anyways.
I think most mayors are jokes.
Hey, don't get me started.
Have you ever heard Mayor Marty Walsh speak?
Well, I mean, the thing with like any Eastern Massachusetts politician is that they're required to be like the most cartoonish self-dunk ever. Like a walking...
They are... Yeah, they're like he's like literally the cartoon version of a Boston mayor. We elected the cartoon version of a mayor.
Right, I think you're referring to Mayor Quimby, who is literally Marty Walsh, but someone thought of it in the late 80s.
Hey, I'm Mayor Marty Walsh. The coronavirus is out there. You got to stay in your homes. Everyone's got to wear a mask. We're gonna fucking fine you $100 if you don't fucking wear your masks. Okay, everybody.
Go Pats.
God loves you. I love you. Go Pats. Yeah.
It's going to be a tough year for Boston. Losing Gronk and Brady and one of the most vicious communicable diseases in human history. It's really a tough year for the city on the hill, as they call it.
And also, Warren she came a third in her state during the primary.
Yeah, she's such a beloved Massachusetts fixture. I barely remember life before old Liz was out there being Queen Massachusetts. But no, remind me, I don't want to speak. Massachusetts is, of course, a Native American word. So obviously she has more of a relationship to that than I do. And I don't want to show my privilege.
No, she'll become queen again.
She is so cool. She went to Harvard. And obviously a big thing about Massachusetts is that people from Massachusetts love people who go to Harvard, which is a big thing. There's a really good, healthy, loving dynamic. Yeah,
that's what I was told when I moved here is that trait. I'm really trying to embody it, and I think I'm doing okay. I'm like more into like UMass Amherst. I'm like trying to just sort of start there and be like, I love anyone that goes to UMass Amherst, but I think it'll carry over to Harvard soon. I like to hang out on campus sometimes now.
No, you'll get fucking arrested. Look at you.
Wait, because they think
you look like the third Tsarnaev brother, kind of. Like the club promoter one, the Tsarnaev brother.
I feel like I'm what a Harvard pub safety guy thinks looks like a drug dealer.
For sure. We should do that Joe Pesci movie where he plays the bum who goes to Harvard and shows up all those fucking stuffed shirts.
Yeah.
That movie fucking sucks.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Now, I'm just maybe a homeless bum on the street, but it seems to me, Professor Stupid, like it sucks so bad.
What's that called? I don't even know if I've heard of this movie.
I'll look it up. It's super bad. It's the cast is crazy. Joe Pesci, Harvard. Okie doke. The movie is, of course, the beloved film With Honors from '94.
Oh, sick. So wait, a bum goes to college?
Fraser's in it. Brendan Fraser, Patrick Dempsey. Look, the gods that were in this movie.
I was talking to my...
Produced by Amy Robinson and Paula Weinstein. Okay, go ahead.
Cool. I was talking to my steady Amy today, and I used the word hobo.
Ugh.
And she said maybe not use the word hobo. I don't know what to call a homeless person right now. I guess homeless person.
That's also not popular.
Yeah. Man, I miss those
someone who's
good old days
experiencing homelessness.
When America was great and you could just fucking...
When you could reduce just vast swaths of people to one general designation. God. You know?
Yeah. Fucking... Those are the best times.
Obama. It's definitely Obama. I think this whole act of like humanizing people is a huge fucking pain in my asshole, and I don't mind saying that.
Yeah.
What? I'm just saying what we're all thinking. You're listening to Rex and the Fuck Dog.
Wait, am I the fuck dog, please?
You're the fuck dog for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Cypher corners old Dom with a classic ploy. She's trying to start her car and her car don't work. And you know, Dom cannot walk by a not working car and not say, oh, I think it's the... and this is where we get the best moment in movies where she goes, what brings you to Cuba? And he goes, what brings everybody to Cuba? The people, the culture, the food. Which is just so great. It doesn't even matter what he says. It's the idea that the script was like, Dom says something laudatory about Cuba.
What brings you to Cuba?
Same thing that brings everyone else to Cuba. Culture, people, beauty.
And this is after he just like won over the hearts and minds of the entire island with his fucking truly maybe the most cartoonish race of the entire series today.
He is the god of Earth. He's the king of Cuba. He wins the keys to the city after finishing a race backwards in a burning car that then flies into the air and explodes like fireworks, and everyone has an orgasm, even if they've never had an orgasm before and were too afraid to have an orgasm. Fucking king of Cuba, he fucking bequeaths orgasms to all.
You know the end of fucking Fury Road where they open up the pipes and all the water comes flooding out of...
Oh, my God, yes.
That's Cuba after this race. And then, of course, it rules because it's all about his little cousin who's like, please, Dom, I'm a dumb piece of shit. I'm a fucking dumb asshole. But the guy who beats the race, he's like, I don't need your car. Your respect is enough. And everyone's like, wow, this fucking like God amongst us can only elevate. There's no way down for Dom. And then, like, that's after a flock of children congregate to like hug him and praise. Yeah. It's just it's as if like Lenny Riefenstahl made a movie about fucking Vin Diesel. They're like, Lenny, can you subtly indicate his popularity amongst Cubans?
I've been thinking earlier about how do I have any Dom in me? Do I have any Dom in me? Am I Brian? I would say I am that guy who loses the race in the opening of Fast 8, Fate of the Furious. He's a snappy dresser. He thinks he's cool, but when he's defeated, he looks at his life and says, you know what? There are people that are better at this than I am, and I will hope that they just respect me.
And Dom does. I think it's beautiful you found an echo of yourself in these movies. You're talking...
I mean, dude, he fucking races in boat shoes. I mean, I don't like wearing boat shoes, but I do appreciate that he's not wearing sneakers or boots. And like,
okay, I noticed those. They're definitely slippers. They're like classy slippers. They're not boat shoes.
I don't wear those either. But I just like that he was wearing like either no socks or no show socks. And that was just like, fuck, this guy rules. He wears a hat like no one else in this movie.
We got to get real. They're definitely no-show socks. All these people who say they don't wear socks are fucking lying.
Dude, I'm wearing...
They've got to be.
I'm wearing Esperdes with no-show socks. No-show socks. If you're not wearing socks in any kind of shoe, you're a fucking gross person.
You're a pervert.
Yeah, even if they're like...
And not in the fun way, in the bad way.
Plastic flip-flops or something. Fucking... Those are going to be gross in a week.
Yeah.
I do not want to talk to you. And I used to be the guy that didn't wear shoes ever. I didn't wear shoes out. And I honestly think that is more hygienic than wearing no socks in your shoes.
Well, it's the moisture buildup and the humidity that really allows for all kinds of horrible little friends to grow in our little
here's
toesies.
the thing. If I'm not wearing any shoes, first of all, I wash my feet every day, sometimes more than once a day.
Wow.
And also they're free. They get caked in filth. Regardless what I'm stepping in, whether it's shit or urine or just mud, I don't care. I wash it off and it's good.
Cum. Could be cum.
Yeah, it's always cum. I didn't even talk about it. It's like, that's a fucking given.
Well, okay, but not everyone knows is we don't talk about your work very much. Charles works in a cum farm.
It's pretty cool. I mean, people don't know this. It's not like it's not like a donor thing. It's not like they're using the ejaculate to create babies for people that need it. It's a fucking cum.
This is strictly just mass production of cum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They actually don't tell me why they're making it, but it's a fucking great job, and it's an essential job. So I'm actually at the warehouse Monday through Friday. Sometimes I called in on Saturday for a half day just because we just need more cum.
And Drumpf, President Cheeto, the orange man, said it was essential.
Yeah, don't mention that name.
Look, I'm not trying to get political, but he's Little Hands Orange Man, and it sucks.
Yeah. Fuck.
Imagine if fucking Joe gets 5 minutes with him in the fucking ring.
Oh my
just
God.
5 minutes, old Joe.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 push-ups. What's next?
Push-ups. 1, 2.
Who knows? Yeah. Punching. Who knows? IQ test. This is going to get ugly. And for Little Orange Man, real. Yeah, he's going to fucking get punched in the face by another rapist. It's going to be fucking great.
Yeah.
Do you think that's how they're going to advertise the next debate is rapist versus rapist? Who's going to win?
Well, it's if you watch a lot of old Hollywood movies, or even not very old Hollywood movies, you're usually watching a solid rapist versus rapist bout, you know?
Yeah, I know. We're all used to it. We're ready for it. It's gonna be fun.
It's cool, isn't it great that our hope has been killed? Like it's like they've like everything's come together to slit the throat of hope.
Yeah,
and I don't even know if Dom Toretto, and I don't want to speak. Look, they fucking postponed Fast 9. Are we understanding the existential implications of the postponement of Fast 9? This is a sweeping cultural moment. The postponement of a Fast movie.
It's crazy. And Universal also knew that we were doing the series to time with the release, and they still postponed it.
You followed this shit with Universal versus AMC and Regal? The shit's crazy.
Yeah, I'm scared, man. I mean, I'm lucky. I'm one of the few lucky people that has like a pretty comparable to going to the movies in my basement. And even I'm like, I don't want to miss the next Fast movie, but I also don't want to spend $20 on a ticket.
Well, I mean, in my mind, it's like Universal had to run their fucking mouth about Trolls World Tour. Really?
Yeah, just keep it so basically, low.
For people who aren't following, so many movies from the new fucking Saw movie produced and starring goddamn Chris Rock, which we were so excited about. That's postponed. Obviously, Fast 9's been postponed, but Universal was like, Trolls World Tour, the tour's on, baby. Pack your bag.
The Rona ain't stopping this tour.
Much like Vin Diesel's Bloodshot, a movie that I think already has never existed.
I think we've mentioned it every episode that we've had since it came out. So we are keeping it alive.
We should watch it. We should do that for a bonus episode.
That would be fun.
We've been so vinned out.
It's basically Memento, except Guy Pearce finally gets to play Joey Pants.
I mean, honestly, it must suck to be Memento and be like, I want to try on the pants.
I want to try on those pants. God.
And now, Mr. Pierce, here's your pants, sir, freshly pressed. Anyways, so Universal releases the World Tour, the big Trolls World Tour, to straight to VOD and shit, and they're like, this movie did fucking ape shit good. Motherfucker, you wouldn't believe how goddamn good this movie did. And so, of course, the movie theaters are like, fuck you, bro. Fuck you. Suck our dicks. We're never doing a Universal picture in AMC or Regal again.
Again? What the fuck?
Which one is, like, super funny because obviously, much like with the, oh no, will Tom Holland not be Spider-Man again? Little episode of, like, just these corporate, like, dog fights where you're like, just figure it out. This is so stupid.
I know. This is the thing is like, first of all, why is this public? Why are these businesses are behaving like children all the time? And I love that the internet is showing us that no one running a business knows what the fuck they're doing. They're just like giant baby men.
Well, Charles, might I suggest that we remove the little baby man from the Oval Office? Put him in a big daddy boy, a strong man. Oh, Joe's so strong. Give me a strong man, a strong working class fake Irishman from Delaware, and he's gonna come in and he's gonna fix the America, and it's gonna be so good because we got the little baby man and he's orange.
Yeah, I hope his first executive act as president is to drown Trump.
Yeah, a public drowning.
We haven't had one of those in decades.
That'd be awesome. Honestly, we're getting back to that point as a culture where I think if like they were like, "Hey, you guys live streaming the hanging?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure." I don't know. That sounds fun.
I mean, I do feel like Trump is going to be like one of the first people to have ever died that is celebrated for, like, it's very rare to have someone celebrated for their death, and Trump will be the first one that I can think of in my lifetime.
Well, I mean, I definitely, you see, I don't know if you saw this on the, you seen this on the internet? George W. Bush, again, look, I didn't agree with everything he did, okay?
Some things.
Yeah, I agree with the war in Iraq. That was great. War in Afghanistan, awesome. The dude rocked. But he's back and he's like, "Hey everybody, we gotta be good." Okay, I'm bye now. And now like everyone, like the same people who like not that long ago were like, "He's gotta burn in the Hague." Like all these fucking absolute like the people for whom politics are just nothing more than a wedge-like device for their incessant need to be heard, and nothing else means anything. But now the fact that the people who hate Trump enough to elevate George W. Bush, a man whose death I look forward to celebrating.
Yes.
And like, this is the world we live in.
Fucking people were celebrating his dumb, like they were like laughing at his paintings 2 years out when he was out of office. No one gives a shit, man. But I think this is actually going to be a lasting hatred. And it's nice. I think this is pushing us towards a guillotine era that we as Americans have been deserved of for the last 50 years. And it's taken a while, but I think we're going to get there.
For those just tuning in, this is, of course, Fate of the Furious by When Will It End, the film podcast.
Do you want me just to cut right now to that clip again? I'm already going to use it as the theme song, and I'm putting it in earlier when you mention it. But
yeah, then put it here, too. Yeah, this is good.
What brings you to Cuba?
Same thing that brings everyone else to Cuba. Culture, people, beauty.
Okay, we're back from the clip.
I guess back from the clip. It's so good. I just ran a 5K.
I'm gonna just give you some bullet points on what I don't like about this movie.
Hit me up, my guy.
So from beginning to end, the colors are nuts, and I used to like sort of be like, I wonder if Justin is really like knows how to make things look good, but now I'm like, yes, he did. He did a great job making things look good. And fucking Juan, is Justin Lin and
it's Justin Lin, then James Wan does Seven,
Wan,
which of course we adore, and then this is F. Gary Gray.
Gary Gray. This looks,
who I would say turns in a workman-like movie. I like this movie a lot, and yet I would say it is workmanlike.
This looks like a Narnia movie. It's got that same like CGI shininess to it that just like doesn't fit. Everything this is so bright.
A lot of a Marvel movie. This is where we're getting into like it has a sort of weird dreariness to it that's kind of strange given how over the top it is.
It's like a weird mix of dreariness on the all the interior shots, and then like a vibrant, like the opening is beautiful. I was like, wow, this is a really strange movie, and I think it would have worked if the director had been like, let's separate Havana because it's so beautiful, because it has the cars, the culture, the food, the people.
Culture, people, beauty.
Oh, Havana, ooh-na-na. Havana, ooh-na-na.
But if like it had been like a Wizard of Oz moment, say like Havana is separate, we'll be forced to leave because of the bastard child, which we don't learn about till later. But eventually you see all this shining fucking beaches, you see these old beautiful cars in perfect shape. That's going to change, but it doesn't. And the whole movie has this like shininess to it that I think really detracts from me taking it seriously. It looks really cheap in a bad way to me.
Well, I hear what you're saying. I have so few complaints about this because in my mind, like compared to an observation that I made I believe in the prior episode, and like many of my observations, cutting, top shelf. This is the kind of stuff that people love. We were entering into the situation where I'm going to exclude the first 3 movies, which kind of exist in their own cloistered part of this bizarre franchise.
Yeah.
But 4 kind of weak, 5 incredibly strong, 6 kind of weak, 7 incredibly strong. I think this threw that off by, in my mind, this is like 6 part 2, but better. And I'm not just talking about my friend Luke Evans, who returns in this movie in a very limited capacity, I'll note. But I think this is like 6 in that you're kind of like, well, this feels redundant. This feels more of the same. But in reality, I think this like really transcends that for a variety of reasons. One sec. Harry, get down. Get down. Harry, God damn it. Harry, get the fuck down. Harry. Cool, you're kicked out of the recording studio. How'd that feel?
Oh, God. Harry. Harry, I'm rooting for you.
What brings you to Cuba?
Same thing that brings everyone else to Cuba. Culture, people, beauty.
Okay, I'm back, baby. Sorry, my cat was climbing all over my girlfriend's fucking makeup area.
That's not cool, man.
That shit gets knocked over, and trust me, it's not good.
No, I know. Cats are quite mischievous. I don't know why I
They're
said
a
it
regular Owen Shaw.
Yeah. To me, this is so it looked weird to me, but also, I mean, a part of that is there's way more CGI in this movie than any other, like I'd say all the Fast and the Furious movies combined. And I've talked about this before. What makes these movies so cool is that it's like a superhero movie, except they really try hard to make every car a real car if they can. And this to me felt like they didn't give a fuck anymore. They're ready to save some money, get it all done by computers, and I don't know, that the opening shit was.
I will say that the
boring.
cars, like the very like each car is tailor made to the personality of the driver. That shit did feel a little Transformers-y in this. I didn't love that.
Yeah,
and that's not new for the franchise, but I didn't love that design choice. However, look, I guess my response to that would be that I think the personality of this movie is very real. I think Roman is so fucking good in this. He's so funny.
Sure.
The whole bit with him picking the Lambo is great. I love that whole run. I think that like I like the idea of the bifurcated plot line where we have, you know, Charlize Theron debating the meaning of reality itself with Dom on like a mysterious aircraft while the rest of the gang does their scrappy, you know, investigating. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I don't have a strong pitch for this being. I honestly do think this is like in the top 3. I think 5 and 7 have 5 as an accomplishment and 7 emotionally. But I mean, this gave me everything I wanted. So I hear you. Visually speaking, not all of it landed, but like the moments where, you know, and I talked about this many movies ago, but like we've gotten to the point where they're like at a fucking Russian nuclear sub base fighting Chechen rebels while having a hack off while Jason Statham infiltrates a spy ship. Like this is come on.
Yeah.
This flew by again for a 216. This one.
That's very true. Yeah. 216. It did
flew
fly by.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean,
and I remember this one. 6. I remember like nothing from.
Yeah, it came back to me last episode, but it's already gone again. But I'm just going to spend a little more time on how it looks because I feel like the best looking car shit in this movie was the dumb, like, pendulum, the wrecking ball. That was, like, for me, the most exhilarating moment of car in the movie, and it was pretty small and unimportant. Everything else, the New York shit was, like, so CGI'd. It looked like World War Z with the zombies, like, crawling all over each other. The final stuff was like
but
CGI cars on ice. Like I don't fucking give a shit.
You're not wrong, but I'm saying okay. The bit in New York with the CGI cars, I hear you. It looks it's the seams show a little bit there, but at the same time we're talking about a sequence where zombie electric cars rain down from the heavens like Magnolia, but cars, and then a fucking armor-clad Vin Diesel climbs over a mountain of ruined cars with a fucking massive, like, circular saw and a shield to, like, this shit fucks. It's so... that shit looks so good.
So that's the thing is, I think it has good ideas, and it just resorted to a device that I find off-putting. Like, I'm watching this, and I want to be... It just feels sloppy, too. I don't feel like the tension and the tightness that I did in the previous 2 movies... or 3 movies back to 5, like with the car chasing. we've said over and over again that space is so important, whether you're talking about races or chases. It's all about the spaces. Oh my God.
That's pretty good.
Just fucking came up with that.
It's good stuff. You walked into my trap here because I think there's a sequence involving space that's done impeccably well. There's two, actually.
Well, I love being trapped, so tell me.
The prison riot sequence, I think, is very well plotted.
Yes.
I think even though obviously it's a bit of a clusterfuck visually, I love that we see the closing gate and we see the Rock shoot underneath it and bounce off the thing and jump down the thing. Like, I think visually speaking, that story is told wonderfully. And that's really cool. And then maybe the unexpected piece de resistance of the movie, the Jason Statham plane raid sequence with the baby, I think is phenomenally well designed and shot.
You know what those two have in common?
What at, Charles?
No cars.
The fuck dog.
Jason Statham. And that's what I was getting to, is Jason Statham is the fucking shining light of this movie for me. He is hilarious. He fucking is hamming it up the entire time, and it works so well because this is what we've come to. We're in a movie where Jason Statham being the most British you could ever imagine, like saying his lines and having a mom that, oh my God, the whole thing is perfect. I'm very excited that
Helen Mirren is fucking magical in this movie. I love. We're talking about stunt casting 8 movies deep into a franchise. This is the shit.
This is
fucking show up with goddamn Helen Mirren or fuck off.
You give her the only fuck word in the entire movie, and they're like, this is still PG-13. We only got one of these to give around. What are we going to do? We're going to cut off a couple. Like Roman almost says motherfucker, and he almost says shit. And he's like play like cheesily, like kids movie style, cuts it off. They give Helen Mirren the fuck word, and it rules, and she's great. That whole side of the thing is so good. And I think they're the most like family oriented of the movie. Because like you try to believe that Dom's going to do all this shit for a bastard son that you don't know, for a woman that he throws away. And like you really have to build up this like convincing yourself that he would care that much. He respectfully
threw away Elena. He respectfully threw her away.
And she consented.
And then she got to meet the woman that she was thrown away for. So it's beautiful.
Really cool movie. These movies are so fucking misogynistic.
Oh, I don't think so. I think they're pretty above board. Hey, do you know what occurred to me? If Chasen Buttigieg divorced Pete Buttigieg and married Jason Statham, he'd be Jason Statham.
That'd be cool.
All right, that's our time today. Next week, Hobbs and Shaw. I'm the fuck king, and that's the shit dog.
But no, I'm excited, though. I'm excited for Hobbs and Shaw. After watching this, the Hobbs and Shaw moments in prison, like them fighting were really great. Their little fucking making fun of each other and calling each other names was immature but fun. I don't know. This is weird when I'm looking forward to a spin-off, and sort of like that's what this franchise is so big now that a spin-off might actually be small enough again that I'm back on board.
But Charles, if you'll permit me to interrupt your incoherent ramblings, you have touched on a really crucial part of the expansion and the struggles of franchise life. Okay. So, as many know, this is the movie where things in the familia getting a little tense. Okay. And so, I wonder a lot about this franchise. Obviously, they got their own spin-off, but the Statham Rock connection starts to, in this movie, this is the beginning of the end of the Vin Rock, whatever good graces they had prior to this film, disappeared. So on August 8th, 2016, and big thanks to VanityFair.com for this article, The Rock and Vin Diesel's Candy Ass Feud, a comprehensive timeline by Kenzie Bryant. Kenzie, you're doing God's work.
Yeah.
Okay, so on August 8th, 2016, while still filming this movie, The Rock went on Instagram and said, use the hashtag, and this is a little, listeners at home, you might want to put on your thunderwear. He hashtagged the post, 0 tolerance for candy asses.
What?
According to his caption, some male co-stars conduct themselves as stand-up men and true professionals, while others don't. The ones that don't are too chicken shit to do anything about it anyway. Candy asses. When you watch this movie next April, and it seems like I'm not acting in some of these scenes, and my blood is legit boiling, you're right.
Wait.
Wow.
First of all, can we back up?
Yeah.
What's a candy ass?
It means like big man ass is like, big hunk of beef, big strong beef hunk butt.
So you want to lick that?
But a little baby girl man.
Oh, okay. So it's not like you want to lick that ass, like a candy ass. Like,
no, it's bad candy. It's bad candy. It's like unhealthy candy.
I would fucking.
So okay.
Okay, so it's bad for you. So it's like a weak ass. a sugar ass.
So this was a little unclear.
Yeah, what's he talking about?
Obviously, at the time. And again, 2016, a different time. This was before Little Man Drump's Small Hands. This was when Obama was still president. It was good then.
So wait, he posted this without mentioning names?
Right, okay, which led Tyrese Gibson to respond in a later deleted post. Does any of us know why Bro decided to jump out there with his post? No. And again, this is E! Online. A big thanks, of course, to Zach Seemayer for this article. Again, I wish, I'm a journalist myself, award-winning maybe. Yeah, definitely. I wish I could cover stuff like this. Does any of us know why Bro decided to jump out there with his post? No. Would one assume that if he's going to jump out there and generalize and say male co-stars, he would be more clear and call out names? Of course he should have. Let me calm you guys all the way down. I don't know who he has a problem with, and I don't have any details of what those problems are. As a matter of fact, if I did know, I would tell you shit.
Wait, what?
I'm personally not doing this for...
He did one of those things? Or in movies, they're like, I don't know, but even if I did know, I wouldn't tell you?
Yeah, it's a whole... Well, hold on. No, I'm saying he would know. So he would tell you shit. And it's confusing. Okay, this is a very long post. Let me get to the good part here. I'm personally not doing this for anyone but my brother Paul Walker, said Gibson in the same post. This franchise is not about and has hashtag never been about any of us individually. It's about the hashtag fast family, the tribe.
Wait, he hashtag never?
Yeah. I love this franchise and all of the hardworking past and present crews that have contributed to one of the biggest multi-ethnic, capital M, capital E, franchise films in the history of cinema. The creative team of executive on all levels. This is a great post. I think Dwayne, a.k.a. DJ, happens to be one of the most humble, down-to-earth, okay, yada, yada, yada. So basically, Gibson's like, look, this shit sucks. This is all about Paul. What's going on? So 2 days later, after an alleged secret meeting, according to TMZ, there's some sort of secret meeting. So The Rock posts again 2 days later, family's going to have differences of opinion and fundamental core beliefs. To me, conflict can be a good thing when it's followed by general resolution, the greater good. I was raised on healthy conflict and welcome it. Like any family, we get better from it. So, to make a long story short, by August 19th, when filming was officially over, The Rock thanked almost everyone by name, and this is not a deleted post, from F. Gary Gray to his excitement about the next film he worked on, Jumanji. The Rock thanked everyone except for Vin Diesel.
Wow. What does that mean?
So then in September, Michelle Rodriguez confirms the feud. Any human being knows what men are like, knows to stay out of those situations and let them figure it out, she told People at a Call of Duty event. Wow. Society is fucking... I love reading this shit. Being like, oh yeah, the big scoop at the Call of Duty event. Anyway,
hey,
so...
Michelle, if the Furiousverse has taught me anything, it's taught me what men are like. And I know that you're there too. So I know what's going on back there.
Yeah.
These big boys. They're
so big. Okay, so actually Diesel put his finger on that. The following April 2017, as the push around the film begins in earnest, the press push, this is Vin. I don't think the world really realizes how close we are in a weird way. I think some things may be blown out of proportion. I don't think that was his intention. I know he appreciates how much I work this franchise. In my house, he's Uncle Dwayne. It's not always easy being an alpha, and it's two alphas. Being an alpha is sometimes a pain in the butt.
Huh. I like that he gets to be uncle in this family.
Yeah. And he doubled down on that 2 days later on the red carpet for Fast 8.
Yeah.
At my house, he's Uncle Dwayne, and I'm proud of that. Wow. But so, yes, like we're at that point where like this offstage stuff is now making a big impact. Like in this movie, it is very obvious that they are not in the same room at any point. It's certainly watching it with that knowledge. It's very funny because you're like, oh yeah, these people are not clearly they're working around so much in this.
So do you think that's why this movie separated Vin and The Rock to begin with?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
I think they were like, we can't, that dynamic is over and that they had to just move on.
Yeah, it's interesting. So this sort of brings you to the inclusion of Jason as a part of the family, and you sort of mentioned it while we were watching it through text. Like the guy that is now on the team killed Han, the greatest member of the group, and they're just like treating him like he's fine just because he has a brother that all like. But this is where these movies start to like this has already jumped the shark. This is doing something else. This is like so devoted to this idea of family that it is warping the actual idea of family to just like tie up loose ends, create character arcs where they shouldn't be. Like they don't really know what to do anymore other than assemble the team. That's all this franchise has. And the team, once Brian like is off with Mia, like the team doesn't exist anymore, and they really should just do something else.
Okay, now I'm reading that maybe the announcement of Hobbs and Shaw was one of the reasons why Diesel was being an asshole to The Rock.
Oh, okay, interesting. So you were just reading something while I was...
Well, no, I'm oh my God. I'm engaging with your content. I'm trying to produce new content.
Okay.
Please don't be like this.
Do you want to keep talking about this?
It would suck if we had a fundamental difference in philosophies and how we approach podcasting and collaborating.
Tomorrow on Instagram.
That's The Rock talking about Vin Diesel.
The official WWE podcast posts, one of us is a candy ass.
I'm not going to name names, but one of the two male hosts is a real piece of shit. He should go fuck himself. Suck his own dick.
Man, I wish I could suck my own dick. That'd be fucking crazy.
Yeah, we've all thought about it.
Yeah, have you ever had a dream where you sucked your own dick?
That's a good question. I mean, probably at some point. I've had a lot of dreams about dick sucking. So.
It was one of those dreams where like it was so vivid. I don't know if you've ever had one of those dreams where like you wake up and you think throughout the day that the thing that you dreamed about happened, or like you're worried about what happened in your dream as though it was a real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I woke up and I was like, wow, I sucked my own dick yesterday. That was fucking awesome. And then I tried it again. It really didn't work. Like, fuck, how did I do that? I spent hours.
It's good to get a little insight into what your life is like off pod.
Yeah, it's a cool life. It's very cool.
Yeah. I think that's something we can all relate to. So have you seen many F. Gary Gray movies? I've seen a few of them.
No. I was going to ask you, do you think that...
He did the Italian Job.
Yeah, he did do the Italian Job. I have seen that, which it wasn't very good.
Oh, The Negotiator. No way. And Friday, of course. He did Friday.
Yeah,
that's big.
What, Men in Black, the new Men in Black.
That's a great joint?
Yeah.
Wow. Has anyone... I kind of want to see it just because like it seems like impossible that it's not like terrible.
I seen it. It's not good. It's not bad though. We talked about it on the podcast. It's just like air. It's like shooting Cheese Whiz, the empty Cheese Whiz canister. Like there's nothing bad about it. It sort of tastes like Cheese Whiz.
Hold on, Cheese Air can be pretty delightful.
That's what I'm saying. Like
you read Cheese Air?
It's not terrible, and it has the promise. You think it's cheese sometimes, but I honestly have no memory of it other than the little alien. The little alien.
Well, I haven't seen it, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
He's in all the trailers.
Charles, we're at that point in the podcast. It's not my job to know everything about everything.
So,
okay?
Yeah, it's that time in the podcast.
Jesus Christ.
Are you going to ask me or you want me to ask you?
I can see. I'm going to ask you. I can see where this is going. I'm going to go ahead and ask you this, my friend Charles. Are you at this point, now that we've watched 8 Fast and Furious movies, and you have already, I will add, in the prior episode, already said that you are out, so to speak.
Yeah.
Are you still asking when will it end after a movie you've just told me you thought was one of the worst in the franchise?
So, this, to me, I don't even really consider this to be a fast movie. This is like, in the same way that a lot of people thought of as Jaws 4 was no longer a Jaws movie, even though I think it really is. Like, this to me feels...
Same family. Come on. That's part of the Jaws world. That's the same family. The sharks hate those fucking guys. Jaws 4. That's the friggin'. That's the goddamn. It's the family of the drinking man.
You got it
with the gun. What's his name? Quill? Kevin?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Colby.
This feels very different, and not in a cool way. Not like in a Shrek 2 to Shrek the Third. Like, oh wow, this is fresh. This is new. This is different. This is like somebody like that doesn't really understand what people like about the Fast saga. Like took over, like whoever this Gary is. I'm just gonna call him Gary. It's funnier. Yeah, he doesn't get it. Like CGI is not what I want, and he fucking CGI'd the fuck out of this movie. First of all, I didn't bring this up yet, but the lack of a compelling bad guy fight, like there's what the last 3 movies all had were really great fighters taking on the role of villains. Like we had people from The Raid, people from Ong Bak, we had Ronda Rousey, we had Haywire Lady, we had all these cool people that actually knew how to fight so that our heroes could get into some fucking fisticuffs against someone that actually knows something. And we had it was fun to watch Jason Statham and The Rock beat their way out of prisons, like beating up lots of people. But I was missing a nice boss fight, and I didn't get it.
Well, what I thought was interesting about this movie, especially considering that, is that I like that they tried to do a thing where we don't really know what Dom is doing or why. We only realize that he's doing what he's doing. I like that she shows him something. We're like, well, why is he doing this? What could possibly compel Dom to betray family? And we're like, oh, he's not betraying family. Technically, he's being even more loyal to family by betraying other strata of family. I liked the bifurcated nature of the film. I like this larger conversation about who Dom is and why he does what he does, and the more traditional approach on the ground. And I thought this movie was about Dom, and in a way, the ambiguity of his decision making becomes more important than the classic villain situation.
So here's again, I love that because I agreed, much in the same way that certain things like the promise of these storylines, really great idea, except they try to have it both ways. Like Cypher's constantly being like, I have your family locked up, so you should abandon your family and be free. She gives that whole speech about how don't you want to live a quarter of a mile at a time all the time, while she has his hostage, her son hostage. I don't think they can do both.
I hear you. Look, this is definitely a bloated, big. I mean, it's cartoonishly large at this point. For me, I don't know, maybe I'm watching this from the vantage point of a lonely, broken man dealing with a very horrible situation of just being alive every day. But I don't know. I guess I don't really have a great argument I probably can't convince you to love this movie. I don't think I can, and it's fine. I'm not trying to.
You won't. No, that's fine.
And that's cool. I guess I'd say,
Josh, you know why people come to the fate of the Furious? The people,
the culture,
people. The hot dogs,
the food.
Yeah. To me, this literally undoes everything that this movie has been working. This whole series has been working up until this point, and I sort of wish it didn't exist. I think what it does is fun in a lot of ways, but ultimately I've been talking this whole time about how since 5, I've been so excited that it understands how to make something so big, but keep me grounded in what's so small. And for me, this had none of that smallness that made me realize that these characters had arcs and stories. I didn't get any of the cake. I've had so much cake this series. This movie had no cake for me. I am going to... I'm out again. I predicted this last week. I knew I was like, this 7 was this very special moment, and this is has too much going on. This is where I think we finally reached a prolapsed Jesus, the prolapsed rectum.
Why do you got to make this about prolapsed rectums? I don't understand. What role does that play in this conversation?
Well, I think the Fast and Furious movies have accumulated so much shit that the rectum has finally exploded. It's now out there.
So you're saying that it's overextended itself, and now what began as a fun fetish has now become a serious
problem,
health question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm asking.
I'm not asking one. I'm not asking one. I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed everything about it. It was fun to watch. It provided I don't know. I like the vague whodunit thing about it. I like seeing Dom's plan at the very end. I like seeing Dom. No matter how stupid it is, I like seeing Dom struggle with this absolutely unthinkable nightmare. Charlize Theron is so good in this.
Yeah.
I don't know. I look at this and I just see a fun, big, dumb movie. And
yeah.
And I miss Han. I miss Paul. There's so many things that I miss. Yeah.
But I think that's what the other movies did a good job of making me miss the characters while also reminding me why I missed them, and having people having a story that took into account the missing, and this just made me miss them because I'm like, fuck, I want a cool person to ground this movie for me. But I just think ultimately, I said it before, but the biggest problem was that it tried to do two things at once, and it didn't do either. At the end, they just all welcome Dom back while still thinking he's... So either they would have known about the meeting between Statham's mother and Dom, and all would have been like, oh, he's actually on our side. But they don't. But then they all bring it up at the end. It's a convoluted mess that was made by people that just wanted a paycheck. I feel like had no heart, had no soul, had no culture, had no people, had
beauty.
no food.
That's so stupid. That's not wrong. No heart, no soul. That's so bullshit. The Rock is great in this. Statham is great in this. Charlize Theron is great in this. We get our beloved Roman cracking wise and hating women, and it's so funny. And it was great.
They fucking call him out on it finally.
Oh, finally. Such a girl boss moment in this when Ramsey's like, you guys don't even know my name. Fuck you.
Yeah, really great.
I'm stoked. And everyone complains about Hobbs and Shaw, who I know in my nerd circle, and I'm looking forward to that. I'm heartbroken we're not talking about Fast 9 right now.
I haven't.
You've said you have not spoken highly of it.
I remember liking it more than most people did. I thought it was fun. And I sort of like, especially, I feel like I'm going to be like bathing in a bathtub full of Kool-Aid while I'm watching. I don't know if that's really...
What's good about Fast 8, Fate of the Furious, is that at one point, after everyone makes fun of Roman for picking the most ostentatious possible vehicle to take on a mission where they're invading an ice sub in Russia, the car, of course, is easily targeted because it's neon orange by the bad guys with their machine guns. And someone fires a fucking rocket at him or something, and they're on, of course, a frozen lake with a nuclear sub underneath it. It's classic stuff. And he's sinking into the water, and it's bad. And so Tej shoots a harpoon gun, and a lot of harpoon guns in this movie, and goes into the door. And he's like, Roman, hold on to the door. And you're like, oh, how's Roman getting out of this scrape? And Roman bursts out of a frozen lake under machine gun fire, surfing on a door while a theme song plays, and then leaps off the thing, goes, I'm fucking sick of this fucking bullshit, and then kills like 18 people with a pistol and goes, fuck yeah. And you're like, yeah, this movie is
what Josh wants.
We're getting the whole serving of it.
This is my closing argument. You can tell that Gary doesn't understand the series because Dom is working in the cold. And you know what? Whether it's a nuclear holocaust or the death of his bastard child, neither of those things are more important than him still being able to wear a tank top. I don't think...
Well, hold on. This is another Chris Morgan joint.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to put the blame on Gary. You try to find black men to single out and humiliate in public. I like to think of myself as a friend to all people.
Every episode, it's either I'm an anti-Semite or a racist.
Well, because you are perpetually those things. I'm trying to find the Dom Toretto cold quote.
Yeah, it's from, I don't remember what movie it's from. It doesn't matter. It's delightful and it makes sense.
I don't do cold.
Yeah, it's fucking...
It's yuck.
Dude, we haven't even fucking mentioned the terrible Little Nobody. That guy sucked. His acting sucked. Like, there's so many bummers in this movie.
Hold on,
man.
Jeff Actorman?
Yeah.
That movie, that role is played by the great Jeff Actorman.
He was born to be an actor. Kurt Russell is boring.
You're missing the point. You're so fucking stupid. It's crazy. The whole point of Little Nobody is not about his character being great. It's about we've seen this archetype, and now everyone gets to chuckle and toy with this archetype, from Kurt Russell to Tyrese Gibson they're throwing up a softball for the lads to have a go at. That's the point. We're not going to love Jeff Ackerman's performance as a guy named Little Nobody. The point is that everyone takes a fat shit on him for being a little dip fuck, and it's fun.
Do you think that's the unnamed spinoff coming out? Is the Little Nobody spinoff coming out? I hope so. 2023.
Because I love the dynamic between Kurt Russell and his lackey, where he's like, "Oh, you're so fucking dumb." I love it. Where he's like, "I'm trying to fucking teach this guy a thing or two. He's fucking dumb as fuck."
All right, I know that we're...
He's a chode. They wrote him to be a chode. You're complaining that they accurately played a chode.
I don't think he did, but whatever.
He did.
I'm looking forward to keep watching these. I didn't say I didn't enjoy this movie. I'm just saying I have to take... Like, Josh, if I just said I liked it, there would be no podcast. I have to fucking look at this like a scientist would. You have to trust your scientists.
No, you don't. We can just talk about... Can I tell you what I wanted to talk about from the beginning of the episode?
Yeah.
Everyone makes a point of saying sneaked instead of snuck because as a society, we've all agreed that snuck is not right for some reason. Who cares? You know what they mean.
I've never heard this.
I grew up thinking snuck was a word, like many people did.
Wait,
but
is
no,
snuck not a word?
Snuck is not a word.
What the fuck?
Are you learning this right now?
Yeah.
Snuck is not a word.
Oh, come on. It's a fucking word.
There's great debate. It's informal North American.
No, I'm not.
Past participle.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying even if you're right, it doesn't fucking matter because, yeah, people understand me when I say snuck. I said snuck today.
How'd it feel?
Fucking great, dude. Felt like I was like hugging Dom after he blew up a car and after the end of a race. It felt so fucking good.
That's a good feeling.
I think we should make a prediction. We're going to have to wait a year, but I think we should predict. Oh, wait, no, the trailers already came out. We saw them. Fuck, never mind. Fuck, that was a dumb idea. Let's give MVPs. Let's just give MVPs. I don't care anymore.
Look, hold on. Let's say for a minute that you hate this movie. It's so bad. Oh, cry. Why would you not think 9 is going to be awesome based on the track record of these movies?
Yeah, no, that's. I almost actually said I'm not asking when will it end because this is doing the Star Trek thing where every other movie is great.
3, 5, and 7 have easily been highlights of, I would say.
I was thinking about the ranking, and I would say for right now it's 7, 5, 2, but that doesn't really count. 7, 5, 2, 3 is like what I got right now as my top 4.
By the way, I've been looking at rankings of the series from other people. Too Fast, Too Furious gets dunked on all the time.
I know. Yeah, Jesse, our guest on the last episode, he was like, "Why did you guys like Too Fast, Too Furious so much?" I was like, if you listen to the episode and are still asking that question, just fucking listen to the episode again, you idiot, because we tell you why we love it so much because it's a fucking amazing movie.
Yeah, you dumb fuck. Just listen to the fucking podcast, you piece of shit. It's not fucking complicated.
That's what everyone.
Holy fuck.
Everyone keeps asking me about movies, and I don't even talk to them anymore. I just say, listen to the fucking cast.
Charles, people have been asking me, you got opinions about movies? And I'm thinking, yeah, I've got opinions about movies, and you can hear them on When Will It End podcast starring Rex and the Fuck Dog.
All right, so I'm giving my MVP.
Okay.
And this is a hard choice.
It is, honestly, in a movie with a cartoonishly large cast, it is pretty hard. I have my pick.
So, for me, I'm going to tell you it's between 3 people.
Oh, come on.
I haven't even figured it out yet.
Pick a side.
I got Cypher on my mind. I got, what's her name? Statham's mom on my mind. And I figured it out. I'm going with Letty. Letty was doing her best. She had a great fight scene. She had to carry the weight that Dom tried to cry out of his 2 little eyes at the same time. Like, she was the one that was most affected by all this, I felt like, and she was the journey that I feel like was, if there was a heart to this movie, it was Letty trying to convince herself over and over again that Dom couldn't do this. And I think a better movie would have played with that more, but given what she had to go with, she did great. And Letty's my MVP for Fate.
Oh, you've settled. That's good. Good stuff. Mine's a 2-way tie.
You can do that? I don't think you can do that.
It's COVID, baby. We can do whatever we want. Who cares?
Cool.
COVID.
What?
Oh, you want to hear my 2? The tie?
No, I want you to sing that little COVID song again.
COVID.
So beautiful.
What brought you to COVID? What brings everybody to COVID? The
Culture,
people. The COVID. The COVID. Okay, so 2-way tie. This movie, these kind of movies rely maybe more than any other movies we've ever watched on little key performances showing up to just look.
Sure. People
think in a baseball, it's all about hitting the home run. It's actually about getting on base. Okay. So, if you're on base percentage, that's honestly way more important than a home run. Because if you're getting singles, you're getting walks. If you're working it to be a productive player, maybe it's not worth some slugger who's only going to hit a home run once in a while. I don't know. You get the point I'm trying to make here. I think Kurt Russell in this movie.
Wow.
It's all jazz with Kurt, baby. He just shows up to be like, look, we're making a dang old movie, and I'm Kurt Russell, and baby, we make the movies. And that is his attitude the whole time, and it's awesome. And I think that is such a little burst of light in this movie that it's so, you can't tie down a Kurt Russell.
I love that pick. I think that really encapsulates the essence of this movie, is that even though Kurt Russell is much better in the last movie, I think he is... he's perfect in this movie. He exactly encapsulates what this movie's all about, which is showing in, just fucking around, having a great time, laughing at your dumb coworker.
Right. And he shares that award with someone who, again, I haven't heard you say word one about this person in this podcast. So I guess once again, I'll be a champion for women. And I'll say that I think Charlize Theron deserves a huge amount of credit. She's an Oscar award-winning actress. By the way, Helen Mirren, and this is a double Oscar movie, which is so funny. 2 Oscar award winners in this movie. I don't know. Now I think Helen. Okay, 3-way tie. Mirren and Theron are so good. Just because, like, one, Mirren is just like one of the most instantly interesting people in the universe, and you can truly watch her do anything. Her intros for the Documentary Now series are like just captivating. Like anything she does is captivating. But Theron comes into this movie way overqualified. She's probably the most overqualified villain of the entire franchise to this point. They're setting her up for a return in the next movie. I don't understand for a minute what exactly her point was as a character, but she just is so dialed in to exactly the kind of archetypal bad guy that these movies need to succeed. And we talked a lot about how the difference between 5, 6, and 7 is that 2 of those movies have villains that are really fun, and then Luke Evans kind of doesn't really bring it in 6 in the same way.
Yeah.
And in this movie, I think she is just so well equipped for this challenge of being interesting and distinct over 8 movies. And the fact that her, more so than the script, is one of the most interesting things that I walked away from this with. Like, I don't, again, sorry, Chris Morgan, these movies are very silly, but she's great. I just found her captivating.
She was really great.
I hear you. This is a bloated, weird exercise that comes, it's so unnecessary. We live in a world now where the train has just left the station on this, and they'll make these movies for the rest of time. I just had a nice ride with this, and it's silly and big and dumb, and, you know, aren't we all, Charles, kind of a Fate of the Furious? You ever think about that?
I haven't thought about that. What is that?
Let me answer your question with a question.
Okay.
What brought you to Fast and the Furious?
Maybe it's the people, the culture.
Yeah.
The cars.
I love those cars.
God, I love those cars so goddamn much.
Maybe the real fastness and the real furiousness was the friends we made in the movies along the way.
Wow.
Damn. Yeah, that's pretty smart what I said.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Yeah. Okay, next week on the pod, Hobbs and Shaw. Charles, you're Shaw and I'm Hobbs in this relationship, I feel like.
I would hope so. I got that bad boy swagger. I sometimes talk in a British accent when I don't think anyone's listening. Yeah. Yeah,
like on like a podcast record. You're like, This is a great time to bust that out.
Yeah, oh fucking, you digging through that concrete. Better not look next time. You got a big head, tiny. What did he say? You got a big mouth on that tiny head, do ya? Right. Come at me.
What? Need a hand? Yeah, I think I do. Sounds like yeah.
What brings you